Okay, this one's going to be a little bit challenging colour-wise. Let's see how we can make it look on this silly piece of shit made by a company called Carnica Minolta. Okay. And how big we're going to make this. I think we're going to make it 141.4. Pity it doesn't have a gloss finish, because it would look good with a mirror, not with a mirror image, what do they call it? A background colour, but it doesn't have, it's too matte finish, I think, to make it a background colour that's any good. We'll soon find out, see what we can do with this piece of material we got here. So copy density, I'm going to lighten it. Actually, no, we're working in negative positive mode, so we've got to darken it. And I prefer to use these things instead of the copy density. Going to cool it down. We're going to make it cold. Cold? I don't know, maybe hot. Maybe making it hot might be better for this. It's hard to tell until you actually start working on it. Okay. Right, now we're got to add these two in as we normally would. This one's going to be an interesting one. See if this looks good. Okay, it's in hot colours, so let's see what it is. Performance Space presents LiveWorks 2018 Festival of Experimental Art, 18th to the 28th of October. So what I'm actually doing is experimental art as well. So hopefully these people who've made this catalogue will feel proud to see someone reappropriating their imagery in a tasteful sort of a way. Tasteful to the underground world, not the conservatives. So let's see how we go. You know, the artistic conservatives, those people who only look at the old-fashioned art, like the masters, the painters and all that sort of shit. I get really bored with that kind of crap, so I prefer this underground stuff. It's much more interesting, it's much more stimulating, so that looks like we can use that as a master copy. So I think we're going to use this for a waiting room piece, so like some people can look at some interesting shit while they're waiting to see their doctor. So that I just want to be able to give something to the people there. This is going to be really curly, I think. Copied paper. But that looks quite interesting. Very, very cold, but it still looks good. It looks very underground, which is what I want to make it look. But what else could it look? I don't think it's going to look... It can't look like anything that's above ground, like the masters, the old-fashioned stiff and stuffy art culture that you get with, say, the Art Gallery of New South Wales as a general rule, that sort of shit, that sort of type of artistic patronage, which is absolute BS as far as I'm concerned. Real rubbish, boring, the kind of stuff that you study at school, and who likes fucking school anyway? School sucks. I wasn't interested in the shit at school anyway. School was a really horrible place. It was horrible. It didn't make use of my talents. It didn't make me feel good at all. I hated the shitter. There were some good moments at school, but they mainly involved the photocopier, believe it or not. Yeah, that'd be right. That's basically been the love of my life for most of my life anyway, on and off. Even when I give it up for a while, even when I give it up for years, I still come back to it later. I always keep coming back to the photocopier. You know, just when you think I've given it up and I've gotten interested in something else, I eventually come back to the photocopier. I always return to it. It's my old friend, my old electric friend that I'll never forget. And one day I'll be building better ones. But that's in the future. That's a long way off. But it's going to be it's going to be fun anyway when that comes around. So this is our second piece. I don't like the yellow bit that's the dock feeder. You can see it from when I had the lid open and or the dock feeder open and I was moving it around. I'm wondering if we can actually improve on that green or if that's as good as it gets. But it looks interesting. Let's see if we can just print off another 2 sets. But we're going to make this the mirror images to fit in with our 2 pictures there. So let's see if we can just quickly set up our mirror image. And just got 2 copies, so we're going to run off 2 copies of this. I wish I could have had I wish a background colour could have gone with that. It actually might have worked. I'm actually thinking the areas where, I'm actually thinking we're going to remake this one, because if I because we had the dock feeder open, the areas here could have taken a colour, but not the actual book. I didn't think of that. But anyway, we're going to show this one because this one's still a very nice piece of work. So we're going to just go on a detour after we've completed this. So we're going to take that off the waiting room list. That looks good, but we can make it look even better. We've got enough time and we should have enough paper. So let's see how we go in trying to make a remake of this from the start. We're just going to put that on the finished pile and we're just going to grab this again, see if we can make something look as good as that. Oops, we've got the master copy still there, so we're just going to play with the buttons so we don't lose it. So it looks good, but a background colour could have made it better if I hadn't known that you could use a background colour. So I'm now going to put that, I don't know which way I put it to make it look good, but anyway, I hope I can make a better version of this. I'm just going to check the tray just briefly. We should have more than enough paper to complete the job. So I don't want to get caught out without paper. Occasionally that's happened in my demos and I really don't like that at all because I don't complete my project. So I want to make a demo a piece as good as the last, but except with background colour. So we're going to keep all that shit. We're going to put that back. We're going to go to background colour and we've got to choose a hot colour. Or maybe a cold colour, but I think a hot colour will be a better compromise. A magenta would be a good colour. Either magenta, I think it'll be magenta. And we're just going to set this up again to be a negative image. So we're just going to set these colours up. I'm hoping I can get the same or similar configuration of features. So we're not going all the way hot, but we're going to make it hot. Right, let's see if we can just remaster this. Of course, it's not going to be exactly the same. You can't get the same movements. Movements are not things that you can actually replicate, except off a master copy, which is why I use master copies. You can't replicate a movement. Every movement that you make on a copier is unique. That's the beauty of movement. But but to get a mirror image, I have to match everything up. Now, we've just got 2. I forgot to turn off the number of sets, and it's still a mirror image. We're working in mirror image even though we've started this job again. So we're just going to, never mind, it looks really nice with the background colour, and I think this might even look better than the original. So maybe, but hang on, we're going to use one of these as a master copy. I've got to just put one away. I should have taken it off the multiple copies, so I'm just going to set that to 1. We're just going to put this back on the pile where we're going to use we forgot to change a few things around, such as the mirror image. So now we're just going to switch off mirror image just out of habit, because we normally do our mirror images last. I might forget, so I'm just going to switch it off. But this is a mirror image, believe it or not. I don't like that little bit there, but I think we can ignore that. And you can see a bit of that. So now this part is going to be where the quadrants meet. So that looks good. That's a good contrasty looking thing we've got there. I'm wondering if it could be better, but it looks pretty good. And now we're just going to, it looks more complete with the background colour than without. So now we're just going to switch to our usual setup, and we're just going to kill off the enlargement now. So we forgot to set this thing up fully. But, oh, fuck, where are we going? We don't want... Hang on, we want that. Something we just pressed. Shit. Konica Minolta, stupid user interface. I don't like this style of interface compared with the old C353, which made use of a tab system. It looked more clean and tidy, less cluttered. But, hey, companies like Konica Minolta love money. They don't care about the product, so it shows in their workmanship. And they just don't do things properly as they should be done. So now I think that's that. And we're just going to close, and we're just going to hit off one copy. So we're just going to make one copy, finish, and then start. This is going to be a prolongated demo once again. But we've got enough room. We should have enough room on this micro SD card. What the fuck? Oh, I know what I didn't do. I forgot to switch off negative positive. So I'm wondering if we're going to do... I think not. That's created a nasty looking line. So I think we're going to just avoid that. But that's an interesting result. Again, I've forgot to properly turn off the features that we don't want, such as this. I'm wondering if maybe we should have kept it on negative. It still looked good. We're just going to print it now as a positive, the way we were intending it. But it's good to see what the negative actually looks like as well. So let's see how we go. It's very easy to make errors working on these. And this looks shit. Look at this. This has gone from green to a horrible fucking shitty baby poo yellow. I don't know what the fuck I got wrong there. Why I haven't replicated that as well as I should have. I got a feeling it's to do with the hue. I think the hue should be put in the 0. I think the hue might have been kind of, maybe the red. We got to kill that off. I could have killed it as well. That would have made it look shit. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. This demo is going to be prolongated, so if you guys like a bit of drama and a bit of extra length in my videos, well, yeah, this is for you. So let's see how we go. If we can get that green back. Yes, it looks more green. I'm wondering if we're going to maybe lighten it, or maybe it was the red that caused the green to turn a horrible baby poo yellow. So I'm wondering if we're going to just, if maybe bumping up the hue to hot will make the green look a little bit more yellowy green, a nice yellow green rather than a darkish green. I don't think it was the hue. I think it was the red. The red doesn't go with green. It makes a horrible colour, so you got to, I think it was the red. Having the red still in play. So let's see how we go with getting the green back to a limey sort of a green. It looks a bit more limey now. It still looks a bit like baby poo, just a vague appearance of it. I'm wondering if we're gonna, if maybe that's what we want. It looks all right. It looks quite nice. We don't want it any more yellow than that. So I'm wondering if we're gonna just run with this. I'm wondering if we're just gonna maybe go back and be a perfectionist and maybe turn that hue a bit cooler. It's still a bit too hot. So I'm wondering if we're just gonna leave it. We're just going to leave it like that, stuff it. It's probably as good as it gets, because the more you fiddle, sometimes other things get made shittier. So, you know, you try to compensate for one thing, you end up stuffing up another, and if that other thing is meant to look good, well, you've got to basically try to consider what's the best compromise. It's not the greatest colour. I thought the first version looked good. We do have a problem with this because it was a negative. Was it a negative? I think we got a bit of a problem with the gap, but we're not going to bother pushing it harder. can't always get perfection as much as we'd like to come close to it. So I think we're just going to we're just going to print off again in mirror image. Hang on, yeah, I'm just trying to work it out. So mirror image on, okay, 2 copies. Pity about the border, the ugly little grey border. I think it's, I don't know, it's just the way that it's gone. This is going to be a really long demo, I must say, but I hope the drama was worth it. I mean, hey, who doesn't like a bit of drama in a movie? Even though this is not a movie as in a long feature film, it's just a YouTube or social media type of movie. Real underground shit. They're just trying to get these corners to touch. We're having a lot of problem with the curling here. So, and the curling just spoils the fucking look of things, which really pisses me off. But we have to sometimes accept imperfections, which is a really hard thing for a person like myself. I try to make things look really nice and slick as much as I can. You can't call this slick, arranging your demo pieces on a fucking bed. But anyway, it's not perfect, but now you can see what a background colour can do. Can really bring things up and make them look a whole lot better. I think now we can call it quits.